Welcome back for another fun tutorial, and today we're going to be going with the bulky weight yarn. This is Wool Ease from Lion brand. It's thick and quick. It can be found at pretty much any major craft store as well as on WeCrochet.com. I absolutely love working with these bulky weights for a fun home decor project. So let's talk about what other supplies we will need today. So besides our 6 super bulky yarn, we will also be needing a crochet hook. I'm going to be going with the M8mm. This is the Furls Streamline. It's fun to work with for this project. You will also need a stitch marker if you like. This one can kind of be done without a stitch marker, but that's only if you want to live a little bit brave. And a tapestry needle, and then some scissors. This is a really fun and quick project, so let's jump right in. So for this pillow, I've given 2 dimensions in the pattern. That way you can make either an 18-inch pillow or a 20-inch pillow. Today on the video, I'm going to be demonstrating the 18-inch pillow, but I'm also going to give you the stitch counts if you decide to do a 20-inch pillow. So here we go. I've done a slip knot and I've placed it onto my hook. For the 18-inch pillow, I'm going to chain 76 stitches. Now, if you want to make the 20-inch pillow, simply chain 86. So now after chaining 76, I am going to go ahead and start working the round for this round. So what we will do is we'll start in our very first chain, and we're simply going to single crochet in each stitch around. Now, if you want to, you can go ahead and mark that first stitch. This is where it's nice to have a stitch marker, so you know where the first stitch in your round is. So we will be single crocheting around for 76 stitches. So now that we have one round of 76 single crochet stitches, it's time for us to work on our stitch pattern. So here's what's cool about this. This round will be our repeat round. So what we're going to do next, we will be doing again and again and again and building out that height. So let's go ahead and see how to do this fun stitch. So we will be starting in the very first stitch without joining. So this is continuous. We're not joining at the end of each round. We're going to start our first stitch by doing a single crochet in the back loop only. We can go ahead and mark that first stitch if you like. And then in our very next stitch, we're going to do a split single crochet, also known as the waistcoat stitch. When we do this stitch, we'll see this front V. We'll want to insert our hook into the center of that front V. And then in the back, we will be going between the upside down V. That is a split single crochet. We'll yarn over, pull up a loop, and this is the critical part of the stitch. If you struggle with this stitch at all, this is probably your problem going on right here, this little guy. When we pull up this loop, we want to pull it up to be the height of this. We really want it to come up a bit higher than we might normally feel like we do. The reason why is when we finish this stitch, we want this V to have quite a bit of space so that when we work it on the next round, it's really easy to get into and it's not going to be problematic. So then we'll continue by single crocheting in the back loop only, and then do a split single crochet. Single crochet in the back loop only, and then a split single crochet. We will continue to work those 2 stitches all the way around. So now that I've worked that stitch all the way around, it's time for us just to simply do the same. So it's just repeating that round again and again. This is where if you want to ditch the stitch marker, you really can, because this tail end at the beginning will tell you where the beginning of your round is. But here's what's fun about this stitch. Every single time you see the next stitch you're going to work, so this is a single crochet in the back loop only, that's exactly what I'm going to work in that next stitch. And my next one is a split single crochet, so that's what I will work. So it's really therapeutic. You don't have to stare at a pattern. You can just simply relax, watch your favorite show, and go round and around and around. You don't have to worry about joining, and you create this beautiful stitch. We can already see it working up there. I love this knit look. This mimics that knit purl look. It's not ribbing, it's a flat fabric, but it just mimics the look of that knit purl. So your next steps are to enjoy this stitch and to work this up until it's either 18 inches or 20 inches if you're making the larger one, and then come on back. And now that I have done the amount of rows to make this also either 18 inches or 20 inches, it's time to fasten off and pull your yarn through. And the next steps we will do will be creating the pillow by closing the top and the bottom. So we'll first close one side by using our tapestry needle to seam it together, and then we'll stick in the pillow and do the same for the other side. Now for this first side, and when you start to do this other side, you might find a little bit of a lean to this, so be sure to adjust that at this point before stitching together. That way when it's stitched and closed, your stitches line up perfectly going vertically and we don't have a shift in those vertical lines. So go ahead and grab your tapestry needle and simply whip stitch or stitch together the top part of this crochet pillow. So now that I've got this side closed, it's time to stuff our pillow. I'm just taking an old pillow from our back patio that's been out there for a while. I washed it and now I might as well give it some new purpose because I just don't like it anymore. So this is the wonderful thing about making a new pillow cover, is you can take a pillow you currently don't like and you can make it something you like. Now here's where we're going to go ahead and we're going to seam this bottom closed, but once again, make sure when you start stitching, you're stitching and keeping these lines the same so that these lines run in a beautiful vertical manner. So I'm just going to take my sewing needle and we are going to whip stitch this opening closed. Now it took me 4 balls of the wool ease to do the 18 by 18 inch pillow. If you're doing a 20 by 20, you will need 5 balls. And with the extra yarn that was on my 4th ball, I went ahead and made 4 tassels. I find this Clover large tassel maker so much easier to make tassels. It goes so much faster than when I used to struggle to make them without this tool. So I've made 4 of these really fun puffy tassels, and I'm attaching them to each corner of the pillow to just add a little bit of an extra pizzazz to that. And now we have this really fun chunky crochet pillow that absolutely looks knit. It's really simple to do. I think I might be able to crochet this faster than I can knit it. I absolutely love the texture. This is a very fun fabric. It would look great in so many colors. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial today. Hit that subscribe button and come back soon for more projects.